Good evening, folks, and welcome to the media studio with me, Matthew Colfer. And in the packed programme tonight, we are hoping to interview the athlete who ran 1,000 miles today. Yes, he was trying very hard to get away from his mother's bunions. So, tonight I'm here to interview Mr. Parry-Coles about his latest short film production. So, Connor, maybe you could tell a little bit about what your film entails.
I'll try. I may sound a bit presumptuous, but it's less than a film experience. You watch it, and unlike normal films, you rather than go, oh, that's a nice story, I like the actor, it makes you wonder what you saw, because with like the narrative entities, you're forced to watch it, and it is the actual how cinema works. Like when you see images in a film, you think they're chosen for a reason. So if you see these images, you'll, depending on who you are and your experiences in life, you will take something out of them. For example, we were showing a photo truth last yesterday, actually, and many who were drug users in the past felt like it was a really weird, trippy film, whereas more art lovers found it a breath of fresh air to see such a film that is pure art, that explores what film can be, so how colours are used, how imagery is used, and how each scene, although different, they all explore the idea of expressionism and art and what you can do with film.
Okay, yeah, well I heard that you're apparently planning on using multicolour schemes throughout your production. As listeners might see here, we've got a blue and red filtered on the light, we've got a blue filtered here, and I'm hoping to use similar technology in mind because I wanted to show emotional scenes without using much dialogue. And if there no dialogue, you had to speak through a language of cinema and a language of emotions. And to do that, I thought, why not use lighting as a way of showing emotions? Because in a lot of films, the lighting, its background is not a character. Like, Psycho, Oh, yes.
when you hear that, you can imagine an evil person who heads out at you. The noise becomes their own character. Like, name any movie that you remember the sound of.
Independence Day?
Didn't you hear music in your head? Didn't you hear the wedding speech?
You can do, yes.
And so that's how I did. In the wedding speech, you hear it as don't you? Hear it as a own thing, don't you? You don't imagine the person saying, you imagine the word, don't you?
Yeah.
And so many films, a lot of elements become their own thing. Like with, if you watch Blade Runner, you've got the soundtrack, you've got the light with the everywhere, you've got the actual characters, you've got the machines. They're all involved pieces, and you remember each one of them. I want to do a film where the lighting was the main character and colour was the main character, and to do that I've used I went a bit driller filmmaking. I used LED lights for your home. I've used them, I've used colour filters, and it's really cool, it's really interesting that as a filmmaker you spend so much time, you spend so much time filming, and in one day and age you're expected to edit in post on computers. And I hate that approach because I was limited by my computer, my camera, you weren't able to see through the camera, and because of that compared to, and that when it applied to my idea of filming, I needed to know what I was filming. So like now, when you see light on my face, you can see exactly how it looks.
Yes.
Whereas I like to see what I'm filming. So what I see in my eyes, my camera sees, and so I wanted to have that idea to look natural. It looked unnatural when you see it, but the thing about it, when you see it, the light reacts in a certain way. It's not done on the camera using the mouse. It's done, you can see the light reflecting on my nose, my shadows. It's nice to see that lighting. And on a tangent, I looked into special effects like that done by 1960s. And you know films like 2001?
Yeah.
They pioneered many special effects. And one effect with it, you've probably seen, you and you at home have seen many times, but you never realised, it's clouds. Do you know how clouds are made? Before computers in the 90s, the test. If you were home and you wanted to make clouds to do a film, how would you do it?
Smoke machine? You did, but then you got smoke inhalation and health issues.
Oh, right.
What we used to do is a fit tank. You would get a fit tank and you would fill it with half salt, half normal, normal salt and fresh water, and then you'd melt or anything similar, and you have melting water, like nice fruit juice and water,
Yes.
and it spreads everywhere. Milk is the same thing, and we did salt water. Salt water makes salt is really dense and water is really heavy, so its milk moves through it super slowly. And so I was able to experiment, me and my special effect team, with using fit tanks, water phases, and all sorts of containers used to make the clouds. And what's handy is they're not the clouds, because if you do that, you have this really cool effect, like in the recent Harry Potter films. Have you seen them?
Yes.
The bit when the in the bit again with severed tape and memories and it's Harry Potter's head in the water and you feel ink everywhere, like little black things everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's done with ink and water. And so you don't have that effect done to it day, but admittedly the actual for cloud cam technique used for fit tank, it's not used as much, and admittedly many people aren't even aware they did that. And so I wanted to use that approach, but also use light filters to color the water. I've used food dye. I've used food dye in the milk and the water, so I'm able to have these really vivid, lucid dream scenes in my film, where when you watch them, you see these really dense clouds, and you see these fogs, and almost like nebulas. I managed to adapt to a nebula in a phase, and so I was able to adapt to it was referred to in the industry as natural editing. You use natural lighting. You use natural effect. So like with Foley, as you're not aware, it creates sound through other means, and then you add it to certain sound to films. However, that natural bit is when you hit a brick wall, you sound like hitting. Whereas if you made a noise, you turned into hitting on After Effects or whatever you use, you have a fake noise. Whereas natural editing, you use the real world natural stuff to make it feel part of the world, because you want the film, no matter how surreal and how silly it is, you need the film to feel natural, like there's an order to it. Like if you see a spaceship in the air and you see a wire pulling it, you know it's not natural, don't you? Like in the 19th films.
Oh, were you in the middle of filming?
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad.
Well, I then found the advert by Harry Weinstein.
Huh? Okay.
Advert. Well, that's the bit.
We're back from commercial.
As I was saying, because the natural editing, as I was saying before, when you use like clouds and stuff, and especially liquids move in a really weird way. Because when using fit tanks, because work how it's pressure and melting and how it's milk spreads in the water, you can't adapt to that, because you can't, like example, you can't make human, you can't stop be human exactly. And same with other stuff, you need to feel natural, messy, unorganized, and using liquids and milk tanks and cloud tanks and even using natural lighting, you have that effect where every time you film it, it's different. And as a filmmaker, you want to know that when you film a certain scene, even we do it, but obviously, like that earlier, we mess up blinds. You mess up blinds and you mess up a certain handle or the lighting's off. However, I wanted something different. I wanted it so that every time you filmed it, it was a different technique, it was a different approach. And it's more fun that way, because you have to, when you film something, you have to film it as it goes, because if you don't film it once, you miss it, you can't get it again. And that is really handy as well, that it forces you to think on your feet, it forces you to look around you, because you haven't got the option of filming multiple scenes, because each scene will be different and you don't have to use all at once, so you have to film as many things as possible, and they're all different, and there's like a huge variety.
Well, you definitely sound very passionate about this.
I am. It's inspired by one of my first ever films I fell in love with as a young kid 50 years ago. I looked as I was my age. And it's basically in the 70s, before you had really complex lighting, filmmakers in Italy, Mario Bava and Dario Argento, and many others of their circle, they used to use light filters and light gels, like we're using here, but they would literally colour the whole film in blues, greens, purples, yellows, because they wanted to heighten the mood. And when you watch, so when there's someone dying, there's red everywhere, but it's not blood, it's red light, and they would use, and background, they would use like red walls, yellow walls, so when you lit it in yellow, it was vibrant. And that approach to filmmaking, I fell in love with, because due to my Asperger's, which is from autism, I love visual imagery. I love when imagery is bold, and before I learned how to read things, I would only understand things if it was obvious. And for me, seeing these huge, amazing, bold lights reflecting emotions was one of my main reasons why I loved the film, and especially the analysing film themselves, because you were able to see what the film was saying to you, telling you in a very artistic way without having to read too much into it. Well, whereas now, when I'm in my older age, I'm able to analyse these films and I can understand what tells mean a bit more, rather than just going, oh, pretty colours. But for me, that was my entry point, being able to see film as an art form, and then after looking into it even deeper to realise that there's a meaning behind it, but every colour is carefully chosen.
Well, I definitely look forward to seeing this film.
I sent you the opening, remember, I sent you the opening for the show, didn't I?
Oh, yes, you did. Yes.
What were your first impressions?
I don't think I've looked at it just yet. But
Flashing lights one.
I'll go to the flashing lights. No, I liked it. I think it was a nice...
Different?
I think it was different, definitely. Yeah, definitely a lot of multicolour stages around. They'll definitely give the audience something to think about.
And not to way too much surprising, because hopefully if you will enjoy my film and watch it, but I wanted to do a title sequence would hit you. And when you watch it, do you expect that? You don't expect it to be so in your face, do you?
No.
And it did with you, because not many, admittedly, some of you with health issues will stay away, that is fairly dangerous, but if you're safe with, let's say for lighting, you're fine, but it hits you and absorbs you in, because you need to have that up to a film. Because, as we've not mentioned, which is the same for you as a DVD printer, alternate is the title of the film.
Oh, the
Alternus, the title.
Yeah.
Alternus, which, as many might not know, is Latin. And I wanted to have that idea that when you hear about it, you have no idea what it's about. The film hasn't got a set meaning, so I wanted to have a title which had a meaning if you know Latin. But if you don't, it's surprising, isn't it? Like, what alternus means? Alternus.
Not sure.
Do you have any idea at all?
No, afraid not.
But it's exciting to have it. If you saw a film with alternates, bright colours, would you think, what is it?
I would think that, yes.
And so you get people who don't know about it to want to watch it, and the people who do know about it want to watch it. So by using an obscure title and a really weird title on it, you're able to get bits. You're able to get both audiences in. And alternate will be out in 2 months' time in the local cinemas. So please tune in.
Yep, I'm sure everyone will tune in. Okay, well, that's all we got for tonight, folks. Later on, we were hoping to interview a guy named Tom, who actually spelled his initials A-T, Tom. Unfortunately, when we tried to ring him up, he told us he'd rather stay at home. So, thanks very much and good night.
Better read what I'm doing now.